In this lecture, we are going to understand JSS. So quickly head on to the app.js. Command P to pop up this little search box at the top. And then search for app.js. Here is it. If the shortcut doesn't work for you, all you have to do is to navigate to the Explorer and then open. Make sure to open up the client, src, and then here is it. Close down the Explorer. Beautiful. So right on the screen, we have a function that returns a piece of UI. So everything you see over here is called JSS. JSS simply stands for JavaScript XML. It is a syntax extension of JavaScript that is used to define the meaning and the structure of a web content. So this may look familiar with HTML, but it is not HTML. What you see on the screen is called JSS. And one of the differences between HTML and JSS is the class name attribute. In HTML, it is a class. And right here in JSS, it is a class name. Simply because class is a reserved keyword in JavaScript. So all of this markup over here defines the landing page, which comprises of the logo, the P tag, and the A tag. Let me show you quickly. Back to VS Code. Here is the img tag that describes the logo. And here is it. Right below, we have the P tag. This is it right here. And lastly, we have the A tag. Here is it. Back to VS Code. So when I try to delete everything right within this div, we are going to experience a new behavior. So I'm going to highlight from the opening header tag to the closing header tag. Wipe it off. Save. This is the new behavior. The screen is blank, simply because we have deleted the JSS expressions that defines the landing page. Back to VS Code, and also we have to delete the div with the class name of app. We want to do everything from scratch. So here we are going to have a h1 tag, and then hello world. Save. On the browser, here is it. How beautiful is this? So the h1 tag over here describes the hello world you see here on the browser. It's as simple as that. Go back to VS Code and let's continue. Now let me zoom in. Friends, here are the major key points that you have to keep in mind when using JSS. And all of these key points that I want to share with you are extremely important. Point number one is that you can only have one parent wrapper element in JSS. So when you do something like this, for example, let's have a h2 tag, and I'm going to do, my name is Edubaba. So this will definitely throw an error. When you save and check out the browser, you are going to see the complaint. And it says, adjacent JSS element must be wrapped in an enclosing tag, which implies you cannot have JSS outside of another JSS. So the only way you can do this is to wrap up the entire JSS in a parent element. So let's have a div over here, and then we are going to highlight, hold down the Alt key on your keyboard, tap the up arrow key to move it in. And as you can observe, the error is gone. Let's keep the code clean. Beautiful. Check out the browser. Everything is working as expected. I love it. Come back. So this div over here serves as the parent element. So you cannot have JSX element outside of a parent JSX element. So when I do something like this, for example, when I have a div over here, it is going to throw exactly the same error. Adjacent JSX element must be wrapped up in an enclosing tag. So this simply implies all the JSX expressions must be wrapped up in a parent element. So for now, this div is used as the parent element. We just have to move it in like this. It's as simple as that. Point number 2. Class attribute in HTML is replaced with class name in JSX, simply because class is a reserved keyword in JavaScript. So let's try to give this div a class name. So the class name is container. Save. On the browser, everything is working perfectly fine. So let's quickly inspect the console. Alt-I to open up the console. Can you see? Everything is fine. Back to VS Code. So let's try to replace the class name with class. Save. On the browser, here is the warning. Invalid DOM property, class. And it asked a question. Did you mean a class name? Yes, we mean a class name. So I have to go back and then save. Check it out. Let's refresh the console. Everything is working perfectly fine. Point number 3. For in HTML is replaced with HTML4 in JSX. And also, for is a reserved keyword in JavaScript. So when we try to implement something like this, so right here, we are going to have a label. And let's specify the for attribute. Equal username. So this works for HTML. And when you try it out on JSX, we will definitely get some warning on the console. Invalid DOM property for. So come here. We have to change this for to HTML4. So this will resolve the problem. Save on the browser, refresh the console. Everything is fine. Point number 3. In JSX, the onClick and the tab index attributes will be written in comma case, which simply implies you capitalize the first letter of every word except for the first word. So let's assume we want to implement a button right here. And then we have to specify the onClick. Equal. If you notice, you will realize that the onClick is written in comma case. And as well, we set it to a curly bracket. So this exactly is how to implement the onClick in JSX. To recap, class in HTML is replaced with class name in JSX. For in HTML is replaced with HTML4 in JSX. The onClick event handler in JSX is written in comma case, and also it is set to a curly bracket. So over here, you can call any of the function that you defined in the application. I'm just going to wipe this off for now, because in the future, we are going to treat event handler in details. Wipe it off. And lastly, you cannot have JSX expressions outside the parent element. So all the JSX expressions that you are going to have when creating your UI is going to be wrapped up in one parent element. Okay, so we have to move it in. And that's it. This is all for now, and see you in the next lecture. Stay focused and always take care.